Ever get the feeling you've been cheated?
She's a fine ship, sir.
Do you think so?
Yes, I think so.
And do you also think, Mr. Bush, that a lieutenant who has served in the 74 might be happy to serve as a lieutenant in a mere sloop?
If you were captain, sir, I believe he might.
And would you do me the honour of being my first lieutenant?
It is I who would be honoured, sir.
I feared you wouldn't want to.
I feared you wouldn't ask.
Well, we have a ship to rig.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Hornblower is a British series of made-for-TV movies and ran from 1998 to 2003. It is historical fiction based on the character Horatio Hornblower, a Royal Navy officer during the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. It had a high production value and a stellar cast. There has been talk of a big screen version for years, and I for one would love to see this fantastic series elevated to an even grander scale, with one condition: they keep the bulk of the original cast intact. Andrew Grieve, the British director, is best known for his TV work, notably Blood in the Wire and Agatha Christie's Poirot, but it is Hornblower where he did his best work. They really knew how to make quality adventure entertainment for the family back then. The films are based on C.S. Forrester's 10-book Horatio Hornblower series. He was a great writer and is the foundation that this great series is based on. Forrester stories are just as relevant today. See Tom Hanks in the 2020 film Greyhound, based on his novel The Good Shepherd. I would also like to give kudos to the screenplays of all the episodes. They showed respect to the source material, but also added the appropriate excitement to the TV movie format, which is not easy. This seems to be a lost art form. Today's writers could learn a lot from them. The composer John E. Keane does an excellent job complementing the visuals. His score is understated, but lifts the dramatic moments without becoming a distraction. Hornblower is played brilliantly by the Welsh actor Johan Griffiths. After the success of the series, the call of Hollywood beckoned, but he never got the break that should have taken him to the next level. Will we see his return to the role that put him on the map? These films are packed with exceptional talent. There are two I would like to highlight. Jamie Bamba also had the potential to be a much bigger star. Check him out in Battlestar Galactica, a very underappreciated TV show. But when we talk about unfulfilled potential, Griffith and Bamba can't compare to Paul McGann. He must have broken a fair few mirrors with the bad breaks he's had in his career. After the TV show The Monocled Mutineer, he had the world at his feet. He was one of the Brit Pack, with the likes of Gary Oldman, Tim Roth and Colin Firth, but it was not meant to be. He was cast as Sharp in the classic TV show, but was injured at the beginning of filming and lost out to Sean Bean. It also looked like he would reboot Doctor Who, but the time wasn't right. I recommend seeing him in Withnail and I, a truly great movie. There have been many famous introverts throughout history: Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein. In the military we have, for example, Eisenhower, and one of America's greatest military leaders, General Patton. But we very rarely see heroic figures in film who are introverts. This marks Hornblower out as something more than the run-of-the-mill action-adventure story. In our modern world, more and more leaders will be recognised for their qualities as introverts. Some of the most influential people in leadership roles today, for example Steven Spielberg, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, have been called introverts. It isn't just in tech and arts. Some of sport's most successful players would be considered introverts, including Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. Hornblower is a case study in what makes an introvert a great leader. He thinks and considers his next move before he acts, sees the big picture and can connect all the elements, has the ability to remain calm and in control, adapts quickly to circumstances. He focuses on the task at hand, is not easily distracted, and can handle situations independently without the need for a committee. There are disadvantages to being an introvert. A need for alone time is crucial. This can be a little hard on a ship packed full of sailors and marines. They can also seem aloof, awkward and unfriendly if you're not well acquainted. Shyness can also be crippling to some introverts. Hornblower is burdened by his intense reserve, introspection and self-doubt, and is described in the books as unhappy and lonely. He has a poor self-image of himself and obsesses over his petty failures. He is by no means a perfect sailor, famously suffering from seasickness and fear of heights, but it is his ability to overcome all these perceived weaknesses that make Hornblower a unique hero. Another great aspect of this series is the relationship between its main characters. The father-son dynamic between Captain Pellew and Hornblower is played to perfection and has many heartwarming moments. It highlights the importance of a father figure to a young man and how important it is to have guidance to inexperienced youth. There are also examples of the importance of male bonding. Hornblower's friendship with Bush and their mutual respect is a kind of brotherhood. The character of Archie completes the band of brothers. This platonic threesome is some of the best chemistry ever said to film. Check out the episode Retribution. Here we see friendship knows no limits, and true friends will pay the ultimate price to save their brothers in arms. Some could point to this show as toxic masculinity and dysfunctional patriarchy, but as the title would suggest in Mutiny, dysfunctional hierarchies cannot be sustained indefinitely. Hornblower finds his advancement through hard work, honesty and bravery. As captain, he is a man alone, a king of his realm who has responsibility for all around him. Hornblower was also a progressive for his time. He was philosophically opposed to flogging and capital punishment, and was pained when the Articles of War forced him to impose such sentences. If they do manage to produce more films in the series, more women could be added, as this would be historically accurate. Some women would have been aboard the larger ships, but forced representation would ruin the authenticity of a truly great story. You only have to look at some of the series titles: Loyalty, Duty and Retribution. This series is a study in what it means to be a man. Duty and loyalty are not just to your country, even more importantly, it is to your friends and family. Hornblower deserves a 5-star rating.
I'm asking you to halt this court-martial and save the life of a man willing to abandon his own life for others, a man for whom others would gladly give their own lives. We should not try to hang this man. We should promote him.